Hey there, thanks for joining me for Bible journaling. Today we're going to be working on our Encourage a Moment to Breathe devotional, and we're going to be on day 67. So today I'm going to be using my Derwent Inktints colored pencils and my Prismacolor pencils, and I put a list of those at the front of the video. In case you missed it, you can rewind and push pause and write those all down in case you'd like to color along with me with those. So our image today is from Sassy Cheryl Stamps. It's called Take a Chance, and I reduced mine to 75% of the regular size before I traced her into my Bible with my light box, and I will put a link at the end of the video to that video if you would like to see how you do that. You can also do, I found an app on my phone that you can use, or on a tablet. It's called Screenlight. So if you download the app, you can light up your phone or your tablet and put it behind your page and use that as a light source in case you don't have a light box. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started here with our verse today is Acts 9, chapter 9, verse 4 through 6. And our verse says, "He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, 'Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?' 'Who are you, Lord?' Saul asked. 'I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting,' he replied. 'Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do.'" I love that. So that was my whole thought today, was he's telling him to go into the city and he will be told what to do. So that's why I picked our girl for today, is because she looks like she's ready to go on a journey and do what God is instructing her to do. So that's my whole thought on that, is she's perfect for going and doing what she's supposed to be doing. And I found that after coloring my girl here a little bit with the Inktints pencils on the image, it was easier to pull the color straight off of the pencil with my wet paintbrush than it was to color on her. I got way more intense color that way. So that's what I ended up doing. So let's go ahead and read our story today in our book. And it says, "Every Sunday I step onto the stage as part of our church's worship team. While I love the practices and the people, the stage part still terrifies me. But I do it because I love entering into God's presence by singing His praises. I used to believe I needed to have my life all together before I had the right to be up there singing. I wanted to be involved, but I knew I was a failure, a hypocrite, and a sinner. God only calls the perfect, right? At least that is what the enemy likes to whisper to me, and for a long time I believed it. Finally, I heard someone say, 'God doesn't call the perfect. He perfects the called.' Oh, this is such sweet music to this broken girl's heart. I don't have to have it all together, and I can guarantee that I have a lot of growing and refining to do, but knowing that God has called me to a specific purpose, and knowing that He will equip me along the way, is enough for me right now. It gives me the courage to say yes, to be a part of something that is for His glory and not my own." Saul's conversation on the road to Damascus is another reminder that God calls the broken. He called Saul. He even called him by name. A man set on murdering believers. Well, if God could use a man like that, He can certainly use you and me. I don't know what your past looks like. I don't know what secrets may be hiding that you are trying to convince you that of your limitations, but God is enough for all of us, and it is through Him and by Him that we are redeemed. God uses the redeemed, and that is you and me. And then down below it says a moment to breathe. This today is, you know that thing in your past, that thing you think makes you unqualified? Yeah, that. It's washed away by the blood of Christ when you asked Him for His forgiveness. He is calling you today, even calling you by name. So there you go. If He can use a guy like Saul to do His stuff, He can definitely use you and me. I know I don't have anything that terrible in my past that reflects that terribly. Yeah, we all have things in our past, or things we've done that we're not proud of and we don't like to talk about, or we're ashamed of, but that's in the past, and we just have to move forward and do the best we can every day with what God has equipped us to do. So that's what I try to do when I come here and share my Bible journaling with you, is to share a little bit about you know, it's okay to be not perfect and to just have fun, and we're spending time with God. And to me, that's totally worth it, to feel a little scared and, you know, just afraid that things won't work out. But I know this is what God would want, and so I just stick with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put on some music, and we're going to color for a little bit, and I'll be back in a little bit to when I change to, we're going to try something new. All right, so let's go ahead and do our journaling up here on the top. I decided to do that before I do my gesso. So my journaling says, Lord, let me shine your light today. Let me be strong and courageous. Let me travel the path you have set up for me with happiness. So I totally cheated today, and I got the Be Strong and Courageous from my daily devotional that I received from DaySprings. So every day it comes in my inbox, and today I was like, that would be perfect with my Bible journaling today. So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to prep my page with some clear gesso. I'm only going to give it one coat, and then we're going to make our own blue for the background with some white gesso and our Inkjet pencils. And I got this idea over on Lindsay Decor's YouTube channel. She did a Tip Tuesday where she did a bunch of tips on watercolor pencils and stuff. So I thought that I would give it a try and see how it went. So I'll put a link to that down in the description box if you would like to head over and see how she did that. So I'm just going to use this plain white gesso, and then I'm going to grab one of my Inkjet pencils and I'm just going to scrape some off and then mix it up. And I love how blue it turned, but it was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. So it's really true to the colored pencil you pick. So if you want a lighter color, definitely pick a lighter colored pencil. I was afraid if I only put a couple of little scrapes in there that it wasn't going to work out very well, but it was a lot bluer than I thought. So now I'm just going to use my mini ink distress tool and put some blue around on the page to represent sky. So I got a little bit there where I want to put my title, so I decided I'd try to wipe a little bit off, at least lighten it a little bit so that you could still see my words there when I put them on through the background. And these words came with the girl. She was one of the sentiments that came with the Sassy Cheryl image, so if you're looking for, I didn't even have to look for a title. That was perfect for what I had in mind. And I did print those out on some clear sticker paper, and I'll put a link to that down in the description box if you want to try it out. I really love using the clear sticker paper. It's super easy. And then while I was looking for the white gesso this morning, I found this Nouveau sparkle paste, so my idea was to make some clouds. So I went ahead and found a cloud die, and I just cut out a bunch of different sized clouds on some stencil paper. And I'm just going to use my palette knife there and scrape some onto the stencil and make some clouds. In hindsight, I probably should have outlined the stencil first so that it was a little bit darker on the outside. So what happens is I let it dry, and then I'm going to, after I'm all finished, I went back and I outlined it with my Prismacolor pencils that I used earlier, the ones for the umbrella, and then I made them so you can really see them really good. And then when I used my baby wipe up there, I accidentally wiped some of my title off, so I just used my pen to put it back on there. So I hope you had fun. Oh, I'm going to outline my journaling here. I forgot about that. So I hope you had fun doing Bible journaling today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you're having a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.